Okay, so apparently before Stephen King was even Stephen King, he was also Richard Bachman? Yeah, same guy, different name. Welcome back to the King Quest, my completely rational decision to read every single Stephen King book in publication order. Today, we're diving into Rage, a novel that technically isn't by Stephen King at all, but by his darker half, Richard Bachman. Rage follows a teenage boy who takes his classroom hostage, and while that premise might sound like typical shock fiction, this one is wild, it's short, it's intense. It's the book King doesn't want you to read, literally. So buckle up, the King Quest just got real dark. Welcome back. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be reading another Stephen King, but plot twist, we're actually reading Richard Bachman. This is a pen name that he took on, and he wrote, I believe, 4 books or 5. He wrote Rage, The Long Walk, Road Work, The Running Man, and then The Regulators? Yes, The Regulators. Anyways, this book was kind of difficult to find, so we're going to read Rage by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. And this one was a little bit difficult to find because of the content of the book. So I highly suggest that you look into trigger warnings. As a matter of fact, I'll put a list up here for you once I look into those, because I haven't personally looked at them, but I did hear that because of the content of this book and a increase in those things happening in the Americas post this book coming out, he felt guilty and thus took the book out of publication. So it can be very difficult to find. I ended up finding this binding of not all of Richard Bachman's book, but 4 of them, and I bought this off of a library that was closing, I believe. That's why it has like the, oh look, it even has like a library tag. Vintage. So there's also an introduction from Stephen King talking about the importance of being Bachman. And then this is the cover of Rage. So what is this book about, you ask? It says, Rage is a story of stunning psychological horror about an extraordinary high school student. That's all I know. And I know there's a little pow pow, which is kind of spooky, but we're gonna read this intro because I've been reading these other editions of Stephen King books. They're these ones, and these are so awesome because they come with a introduction in the beginning, and usually it talks about his inspiration and why he wanted to write the particular book that he is reading. That I'm reading. Yeah. I do have the Bachman books in this edition, but it doesn't include Rage because these were published recently. Oh, there's more Bachman books. There's Blaze and Thinner. Anyways, this one includes a Why I Was Bachman, but I think I'll wait until I read one of the other stories. Like, I'll read Long Walk in this edition so I can read that. And I think it's been really fun to just kind of get to know where these inspo are coming from, especially with the content of this particular book that I'm about to read. So yeah, this should be a quick read. I'm hoping to finish it like today. I think it's less than 200 pages. So let's get into this bad boy. These intros are so freaking good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he talks about the reason for why he became Richard Bachman, and it's so flipping good. Like, basically the main point of it is that we all have days where we are a little bit darker, a little bit not ourselves, a little bit not feeling you know, who we normally are. And those are the days where he's Richard Bachman. And Bachman books tend to be a lot darker and gloomy and sad because that's how he was feeling those days. And then when he's feeling himself, he's Stephen King. He literally says that there's a place in most of us where the rain is pretty much constant. The shadows are always long, and the woods are full of monsters. It is good to have a voice in which the terrors of such a place can be articulated and its geography partially described, without denying the sunshine and clarity that fills so much of our ordinary lives. For me, Bachman was that voice. Guys, that's so good. That's so poetic and beautiful. Come on now. You should be just excited as me. Anyways, in terms of the book that we're actually reading, he says, one of the books, Rage, has been especially troublesome for Stephen King, like his actual self persona, you know? It has been a factor in a number of nasty and sometimes mortal incidents in the real world, incidents in which disturbed teenage boys have held classmates and teachers hostage, have in some cases committed unalivings. Can't say the M word on the internet. How much responsibility does the author of a book bear when the book seems to form some part of the triggering mechanism for a psychotic or criminal interlude? I don't know. I've spent sleepless nights with the question, a lot of them, and I still don't know. Neither apparently does the FBI, who have queried me concerning the book. One psychologist associated with such a case stated that this novel never walked into a classroom and shot anybody. And that is comforting, but one wonders, one has to wonder, if it is the whole truth. What gives me more comfort is the sure knowledge that the book was written with no bad intent, although it was written by a troubled 18-year-old boy man who seems a stranger to me now. That boy man was really neither King nor Bachman, but a weird and perhaps dangerous hybrid of both. Like, even his descriptions of books are good. I'm excited. His twisted mind turned a quiet classroom into a dangerous world of terror. I just noticed the body at the bottom. Spooky. Spooky! Let's go. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Hello there. I've been reading my copy of Rage. And I don't know. I don't know if it's my mood. Like, I've been so irritable today, and some things happened that it's like reasonable for me to be irritated about, but then I found myself being like irrationally angry over stuff. Like, I went to TJ Maxx and it is July and they are selling Halloween stuff, and that just made me so irrationally angry. And I realized that I needed to do something to counteract that. So I came home, I did some breathing exercises on my Finch app. I love that app. I'm gonna put a link down below. You get a free little micro pet with my friend code, but not sponsored. Anyways, I do like some breathing exercises there, and they really help with like grounding and anxiety. And I took like a warm bath, I lit a candle, and to counteract the fact that people want to be celebrating Halloween in July, I put on my Christmas pajamas, and I feel like that cancels everything out. So the world is in equilibrium. Woo! listen, just pretend it makes sense, okay? Anyways, back to the book. I don't know. I'm not that far into it, so I'm like 40 pages in, except for the fact that this is like a 130 page book, so I have like 100 pages left. And I'm a little confused. So we started to get a little background on some of this main character, Charlie Decker. I know his last name is Decker. Yeah, Charlie. Wow, they just repeated it like a million times in that last chapter. It was like a whole thing. But anyways, Charlie's, we're getting a little bit of his background, a little bit of like some weird things that he has kind of witnessed with his family. Nothing too crazy. And then we're also seeing that he gets into like a bit of trouble at school, and then boom, we jump into the pow 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 pow, and I'm like, oh, whoa, how did that escalate so quickly, and how did we get here? So I'm waiting to see if we are going to, throughout the story, get some type of like rewind and background onto how we ended up where we are right now, because right now I'm like not really sure, and it's not really like mathing. 1 + 1 is equaling 3 right now, so let's see how this develops. I thought I was gonna finish this today, but like I'm kind of sleepy. These chapters are really easy though, I have to say. There are some that are a little bit longer, but for the most part they're really just like these 2 pages. And you move on, it's like 1 page. So we love that, because books with short chapters are easy to read. And even though this font looks small, it is a pretty easy read. There's a lot of dialogue and very to the point writing. Okay, hey, so I've been reading the book very slowly. I've been in Colombia for the past week, and I think I've picked up maybe like a chapter a day. I have to load it up on my Kindle, and it's not that I haven't enjoyed it, it's just that I haven't really had much downtime to like sit and read. But I will say that this book is definitely, like, even though it's short, the chapters are very short as well, so it's very easy to consume. I do find myself like having to put the book down a little bit, just because some of these scenes are so graphic. I mean, I don't even know if graphic is the right word. Like, they're not specifically describing any gore or anything like that. They certainly do describe instances of very physical bullying, violence. It's mostly like the slamming heads into cement floors and stuff like that really has me like flinching and needing to take a second. So definitely a very heavy book. And I was reading a little bit too about, I think it's like 4 to 6 instances that were of things in schools that have happened that were linked to this book. Like the person, the shooter, they found the book in their locker, or they found the book in their room. And so it's interesting to hear those like links, you know what I mean? Anyways, the plane is getting super crowded now. It was just empty when I started filming. Friends, tell me this isn't the greatest blanket you have ever seen in your entire life. We're gonna get cozy. Let's chat. Rage. 2 stars. I did not enjoy this. I did not enjoy being in Charlie's mind. I am not even sure that I understood really what was going on. Probably this entire book went over my head, and maybe that's the reason. Or maybe it's just the fact that I can't relate, which is a good thing, right? Anyways, this one was not my favorite, so I'm gonna go ahead and rank it 3rd below Salem's Lot. I have a feeling it's not gonna climb much higher than that. So my constant readers,
That's all he wrote. If you made it this far, leave a composition notebook in the comments. I think that one's pretty obvious. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button. And next up, we're hitting the Sidewinder Hotel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to catch up with The Shining.